Hello people and welcome to another video on my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a little documentary kind of thing about urban exploring, but I'm going to be answering the questions myself that I have jotted down and bits and pieces. But yeah, hopefully you're going to enjoy the video. Don't forget to sit down and make yourself a cuppa or tea. But yeah, let's get on with the documentary video. What got me into Urbex or urban exploring? So my adventures started off in the late 2016 when I stumbled across this abandoned house that some person filmed and uploaded on YouTube, and I noticed this house wasn't very far from where I was staying at another family member's house. So I borrowed my family member's camera and borrowed their torch, and I ventured into the dark and dingy house, and that sparked off my adventures even more to this present day, that I explore mansions, hospitals, leisure centres, wedding venues, you name it, I must have explored it. But going back to the abandoned house, I come across little history on it, but as far as I know, it was used for an immigration centre for the local schools that would come in over for foreign exchange students who would come from France and Spain on a monthly trip from their school to visit the UK schools. But as far as I know, in later years I found out even more history on the location, that it was owned by the local vicar of the nearby church from this house, and now it has been refurbished and sold for about £450,000 in the UK money. But that would change because my interest would grow even more to find the most amazing but pretty and beautiful buildings I can find. Why I love exploring. Why I like exploring is because you don't know what you're going to find in these strange but interesting buildings. You might come across a pristine house with everything inside that the last owners have just up and left the building, and sometimes you might just come across a house that has been left empty for donkey's years with nothing inside except empty walls and empty floors and nothing inside the house whatsoever, which I like on both scales of the exploring gauge, because you have a different variety of natural decay and also a building that has been targeted by vandalism for a lot of the time. But that's why I like the both sides of the scale. Am I scared of exploring? Different varieties of being scared of exploring. There's like falling down a big dark hole inside of an abandoned building, or there's another variety of coming across homeless people or drug offenders or drug users, but you don't know what you're going to find in these buildings, so you always have to have your wits about you, even though that you know the building quite well if you've explored it many times, because you don't know what the hidden dangers are. There could be nails sticking out on the floor, there could be trip hazards, there could be rotten floors, rotten ceilings that could easily fall down on your head. So always look out for the dangers while you're exploring these buildings, because they could look beautiful in their decaying state, but there could be a death hazard at the other part as well. So that's why scared of exploring is a different variety of scaredness, I'd say, but it's always good to be having your wits about you, because you don't know what you're going to come across of dangers like collapsing buildings or falling down floors. How do I find my locations? Well, finding locations is quite easy if you've been doing it long enough, and some of the locations I find out are sometimes on a website called 28 Days Later, which is quite easy to find on the internet, but some of the other websites I use, I will not be enclosing where I come across these locations or how I find them, because I would like other people to find out their own way of finding a location even easier than I have as well. But it's always nice to keep friends in a small little Urbex community bubble that give out locations, and also you give out locations as well, so you're both having the good time of your life, giving and sharing locations. Strange encounters. The most strangest encounter I've ever come across was when I went to this abandoned university up in London near Slough. And I went to this abandoned university with two fellow explorers, and we started filming, and we felt quite uneasy because we smelt smoke inside the building, that someone has put a fire there and quickly put it out. And we come across a whole room full to the brim with homeless sleeping bags and homeless people as well. So we quickly exit the building, but we were chased from the 5th floor of this university. Objects I take on Explore. The objects I take on Explore is a different variety of objects. I take two kinds of cameras, one for videos and one for taking pictures. So it's very hard to go around some of these buildings with two objects. So I mainly take one if possible, if not I take both. But I also take a torch with me, which is attached to one of the cameras as well. But I also take my mobile phone to take small little panoramic shots for my history part of the video, which I have started doing in my videos. And I also take my phone with me, so if I get in any sort of trouble, I have also got a mobile device in hand. Phobias. The phobias I've got, which are not very good for urban exploring, is I'm scared of spiders, and I'm also scared of bats. So most of these buildings, if they've been left empty enough and going into caves and etc., they will definitely have bats or spiders. So if I see a spider, I will not go into that room or tunnel system, because my goodness, spiders and me don't mix. Even with bats, I'm scared of the death of seeing a bat. So if I see one flying around me, don't worry if you hear me scream. I'm not getting murdered, I'm just getting chased by a bat. So they are my phobias of exploring buildings, or phobias in general, but very strange phobias if you're going to be doing urban exploring, because they're one of the two things you mostly see inside of derelict and disused buildings are spiders and bats. Vandalism and graffiti. For myself, I don't support vandalism or graffiti, but vandalism is in two different varieties of it as well. There's the vandalism of just going inside a house and just picking up every object and smashing it onto the ground, which is not very nice because it doesn't belong to you. Even though that you're exploring it, it's still civil trespassing, so it's not against the law, but it's not very nice for somebody like me or my other friends to come inside your dead relation's house and pick up an object and smash on the floor. You wouldn't like it, would you? So why do you do it? But going back to the graffiti part, I don't like people who graffiti on walls of like a small little dick, or saying Samantha was here or Thomas Jones was here in late 2019 or whatever. That's just pathetic. But the graffiti I do like to see on walls and stuff, even though that I don't support it, are the very big 3D sculptures or very nice graffiti that you see on like walls and like Bagsy does and stuff. That's the kind of graffiti I like, and it gives it a bit more colour to the room kind of thing, even though that it's not very nice, but it's something nice to look at, if you know what I mean. But in the long run, I don't support vandalism or graffiti. History. I used to love doing history at school, so this part of this documentary I will keep short. The history on the locations I love to go deep into, like why it was left abandoned, how long has it been left empty, who lived here, why did they leave, how much did it sell for on the market, how many people roamed through the barns, and how many people used the kitchen sink, for example. You don't really know what you're going to find unless you do history, which I absolutely love doing. So some of the places I've gone to are absolutely marvellous. I've gone to a hospital about 2 years ago that was hit by a German bomb and killed 2 nurses and a doctor. And I've also gone to a millionaire's mansion called Brian Forbes. His place was absolutely fantastic to come across history, and even seen some of his films. What will I be exploring next on my adventures? So the places that I'll be exploring next on my adventures I can't disclose, but some videos that I've already filmed in lockdown or out of lockdown, which I would be grateful to upload. But I have got many locations to go to in my adventures of exploring these abandoned and creepy but beautiful buildings. In the nearby future, I like to explore the most forgotten buildings that I've ever come across. But that is all from this documentary. I will go back to where I was in the beginning of the video, but thank you for watching this documentary. So, see you in the outro. So we finished doing the documentary video, so hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I recorded the video shots and done the voiceovers and the editing and bits and pieces. But yeah, quite a lot of information in my video about my phobias and what I take on my explores and how I got into urban exploring and why I love the history about the locations I go to, if there is history on them, whatever. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. Don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in a video soon. Over and out. Bye. Hello people, and thank you for watching my video, and if you'd like to turn the bell on for notifications so you won't need to miss any videos which I upload, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and also don't forget to follow me on my social medias. The links will be in the description down below. You can follow me on my Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and also thank you for watching once again, and I'll see you in another video. Over and out. Bye!